we haven't got long, and I don't want to be churlish. I'm not that keen on this amendment, but I wanted to ask a question in relation to it. I'm concerned that in that best practice guidance that there is not a conflation between the actual practical problems of, for example, victims of domestic abuse being stalked online, which is actually a threat to their safety, or being threatened with physical violence. I understand that. But also then with abuse. Abuse is horrible to be on the receiving end of, but it is important that we do not make no distinction between words and action. It's very important for freedom of thought, freedom of speech, and also to not overreact or even frighten young women that if they're shouted at, it's the same as if they are being physically abused. I also want to raise an elephant in the room, which is many of us have experienced a huge increase in misogynistic abuse over the last year or so. And it's actually due to beliefs rather than that we are women, but it specifically relates to us as women because we are women who insist that we believe in biological sex as distinct from gender identity. And whilst people often don't want this issue raised, this has become one of the key issues in relation to women feeling what it feels like when people, trans activists, very often men, basically attack you for being a woman, attack your physical being, tell you that you cannot claim the word mother or woman for yourself, and so on and so forth. We've seen that with high-profile cases like Rosie Duffield, the MP, and Joanna Cherry, the MP, who have particularly been harassed and treated incredibly badly online because of their gender-critical views. So in that sense, I would ask that the consultations, and this is what I wanted to ask the Minister, bear that in mind, that we don't ignore the contemporary situation that we're in, and that therefore the consultations are not confined to Domestic Abuse Commissioner or Victims Commissioner, but actually, for example, might well ask the Lesbian and Gay Bisexual Alliance, LGB Alliance, Ask Sex Matters, bring into scope or encourage Ofcom, although I appreciate that you say that you can't interfere in Ofcom, you are actually in this amendment saying that Ofcom should set up this code. So I would like to urge that Ofcom broaden its consultation to take into account that there is a savage attack on women's rights going on online in terms of those of us who are gender critical due to our beliefs, our belief, ironically, in women as a distinct biological category.
Rise briefly to support the no